All right, so today we're diving into the world of smartphones.
Okay.
Can you even imagine life without them?
It's uh it's pretty hard to picture these days.
Right. I mean, we're going to go on a journey today from those clunky bricks.
Oh yeah.
We used to laugh at the sleek marvels we literally can't live without today. But first, let's rewind way back.
Good.
Back to a time when being connected meant being tethered to a landline.
Right.
No texting, no doom scrolling.
Wow.
Not even a pocket-sized game of Snake to pass the time.
That's wild when you think about it like that.
Really is.
Yeah.
How much our relationship with communication has changed
It's
in
unbelievable.
such a short time.
It is.
And that's exactly what we're going to explore today.
Okay.
How we got from rotary phones to these pocket-sized supercomputers.
Right.
And believe me,
Yeah.
you might be surprised by some of the twists and turns along the way.
I bet.
We're talking about a phone that weighed more than a dictionary, folks.
Yeah, that's right.
2.5 pounds to be exact.
You got.
The Motorola Dynatac,
Yep.
affectionately dubbed the brick phone back in 1973,
Mm-hmm.
it was a behemoth
Oh yeah.
by today's standards.
Huge.
Okay, so 2.5 pounds, can you imagine trying to slip that into your pocket?
I mean, it was more like a small luggage situation,
Seriously.
but at the time, it was revolutionary.
Oh, for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
A Motorola engineer, Martin Cooper,
Okay.
made the first public mobile phone call
Wow.
using the Dynatac.
Really?
And that moment sparked a whole new vision
Okay.
for communication.
So it wasn't just a cool gadget.
No, it was.
It actually planted the seed for the future of mobile communication.
It proved that the technology was possible,
Mm-hmm.
even if it was a bit clunky at first.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and from there, the race was on
Okay.
to make mobile phones smaller, more affordable, more accessible to the masses.
And that brings us to the 80s and 90s, the era when mobile phones started becoming, well, less like bricks and more like, I don't know, maybe paperweights.
You're getting warmer.
Okay.
We're talking about phones that could actually fit in your pocket,
Okay.
even if they still took up a considerable amount of space.
Right.
This was the time when companies like Nokia and Motorola
Oh.
really took center stage,
Read players.
constantly pushing the boundaries of innovation.
So what kind of innovations are we talking about here?
Sure.
Besides just making them smaller, of course.
It was all about improving the user experience.
Okay.
We saw things like longer battery life,
Of course.
smaller antennas,
Makes sense.
and even the introduction of those iconic games like Snake on the Nokia phones.
Okay, Snake. Now that's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
I bet everyone who's listening right now
Oh, those-
remembers spending hours on that game.
Oh, yeah.
But beyond the nostalgia factor,
Sure.
this era was really about mobile phones transitioning from luxury items
Mhm.
to everyday necessities. And that shift paved the way for what we'll call pre-smartphones.
Okay.
Devices that hinted at the convergence of communication and computing power
Right.
that was to come.
Exactly.
You're talking about PDAs, right?
Yes.
Those pocket-sized organizers that were all the rage
Mhm.
before smartphones took over.
Precisely.
Think Palm Pilots and Blackberries.
Yes.
Devices that let you check email, manage your calendar, and even do some basic web browsing on the go.
Yeah, they were essentially the stepping stones
Okay.
to the smartphone revolution.
I remember people being glued to their Blackberries,
Oh, yeah.
constantly tapping away at those tiny keyboards.
Mhm.
It was like a status symbol back then.
Oh, it was a sign that you were
Kind of.
connected, productive, on top of things.
Right.
But even with all their advancements,
Yeah.
PDAs were still limited in terms of processing power and functionality.
Makes sense.
They lacked that intuitive user experience.
Right.
And the vast ecosystem of apps that we associate with smartphones today.
So they were kind of like the beta version of the smartphone,
Exactly.
setting the stage for what was to come.
Precisely. And as we move into the early 2000s,
Okay.
that's where things really start to get interesting.
Okay.
Because that's when the seeds of the true smartphone revolution were sown.
And I'm guessing that's where we're headed next.
You
The
go.
moment that changed everything.
We're about to enter the era of the iPhone, the device that redefined what a mobile phone could be and set the stage for the smartphone-dominated world we live in today.
All right, so buckle up, everyone.
Yes.
Things are about to get revolutionary.
Get ready.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Last time,
Hey.
we traced the evolution of the mobile phone
Yeah.
from its humble and heavy beginning
It was heavy, wasn't it?
to the brink of the smartphone revolution.
That's right. We saw how the desire for portability and the demand for more features
Yeah.
really drove that innovation,
Mhm.
shrinking those bulky bricks into pocket-sized devices.
Right.
That hinted at the possibilities to come.
But the arrival of the iPhone in 2007 was like
Yeah.
a meteor hitting the tech world.
It was.
Suddenly, we weren't just talking about making calls and sending texts.
Right.
The iPhone transformed the mobile phone into a true pocket computer
Uh-huh.
with a focus on internet connectivity, apps,
Yeah.
and an intuitive touchscreen interface.
It really was a game changer.
Yeah.
Apple, under Steve Jobs,
Right.
took a bold step away from the traditional keyboard-centric design,
Yeah.
betting on a sleek, minimalist aesthetic
Right.
and a user-friendly interface that felt almost magical to use.
I remember being blown away by that large touchscreen.
Yeah.
It felt like holding a window to a whole new world of possibility.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about the hardware, though.
Okay.
The iPhone also introduced the concept of an app store,
Right.
creating a platform for developers to create a seemingly endless
Oh, yeah.
array of applications,
Yeah.
from games and social media
Hmm.
to productivity tools and everything in between.
So it was like opening up a Pandora's box of innovation.
It was.
And of course, the rest is history.
Mhm.
The iPhone's success sparked a wave of imitators and competitors,
Oh, yeah.
leading to the smartphone boom we're still riding today.
And just a year after the iPhone's debut,
Okay.
another major player entered the scene,
All right.
Android.
Google's open source operating system.
That's right.
Okay.
Offered a different approach,
Okay.
allowing multiple manufacturers
Right.
to create devices using their platform.
So this is where things get interesting.
Yes.
We've got Apple with its closed ecosystem,
Mm-hmm.
controlling both the hardware and software.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Android,
Right.
which is more like an open playground
Right.
for different companies to build upon.
Precisely. And that difference in approach has had a huge impact
Okay.
on the smartphone landscape.
Yeah.
Apple's closed system allows for tight integration and a consistent user experience
Right.
across all their devices, while Android's open ecosystem fosters competition,
Okay.
leading to a wider range of choices for consumers
Right.
at various price points.
So it's kind of like the age-old battle between control and freedom
You could say that?
playing out in the world of smartphones. But regardless of which side you prefer,
Sure.
the impact of both the iPhone and Android has been undeniable.
Oh, yeah,
They've literally changed the way we live,
for sure.
work, and connect with each other.
That's where the story of the smartphone goes beyond just the technology itself.
Okay.
It's about how these devices have become so intertwined with our lives,
Mm.
shaping our culture,
Mm.
and even influencing how we think and behave.
All right, so let's dive into that.
Okay.
Where do we even begin? The impact seems so vast and multifaceted.
Well, let's start with communication.
Sure.
Remember how we talked about the transition from landlines to mobile phones?
Yeah.
That was just the first wave.
Right.
Smartphones took it to a whole new level.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Texting became the dominant form of communication, especially younger generations.
especially younger generations, yeah.
It was quick, casual, and you didn't have to worry about interrupting someone with a phone call.
Exactly. And then came the rise of video calls,
Oh, yeah.
connecting people face to face across vast distances.
Yeah,
Suddenly, it didn't matter if your family was on the other side of the world.
right.
You could still see their smiles,
Mhm.
hear their laughter, as if they were right there in the room with you.
It's amazing how quickly video calls became an essential part of our lives,
It is.
especially during those times when we couldn't be physically together.
Yeah.
And speaking of being connected, let's not forget about the explosion of social media.
Oh, yeah.
Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok have become integral parts of our digital lives, largely thanks to the accessibility provided by smartphones.
That's right. Smartphones became the gateway to a world of constant connection,
Right.
allowing us to share our experiences, connect with friends and family,
Mhm.
and even build online communities around shared interests.
It's like having a portal to a global village
It is.
right in your pocket. But
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah,
this constant connection has also brought its own set of challenges.
of course.
The expectation of being always available,
Right.
the pressure to curate the perfect online persona,
Yeah.
the spread of misinformation.
Mhm.
These are just some of the downsides we've had to grapple with.
It's true, the smartphone has become a double-edged sword in many ways.
For sure.
It's a tool that can empower us to connect, create, and learn,
Right?
but it can also be a source of distraction,
Uh-huh.
anxiety, and even addiction.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to remember that we're still figuring out how to navigate
Right.
this new world that smartphones have created. But one thing's for sure,
Okay.
their impact has been profound.
Absolutely. From the way we consume news and entertainment
Yeah.
to the way we shop and manage our finances, smartphones have fundamentally changed how we interact with the world around us.
They've become an extension of ourselves.
Yes.
A tool that we rely on for so many aspects of our daily lives. And as technology continues to advance, it's only going to get more integrated.
That's a great point. And as we look to the future, it's worth considering how these advancements will further shape our relationship with smartphones. What new possibilities and challenges await us as these devices become even more powerful and interconnected?
That's a question we'll explore in our next segment as we delve into the exciting and perhaps even a little bit unnerving world of AI, augmented reality, and the future of smartphones. So stay tuned.
Go anywhere.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of smartphones.
Right.
So far, we've journeyed from those first bulky mobile phones to the sleek, app-driven devices we know and love today.
We sure have.
And we've talked about how this technology has become so deeply embedded in our lives,
It really has.
affecting everything from how we communicate to how we work and play.
It's been quite a ride, hasn't it?
It really has.
And yet it feels like we're just getting started.
That's true.
The future of smartphones is brimming with possibilities.
Okay.
And we're on the verge of some truly mind-blowing advancements.
Right, so let's talk about the future.
All right?
I'm ready to be mind blown.
Okay.
We touched on some concepts earlier,
Sure.
like AI
Yeah.
and augmented reality.
Right.
But what does that actually look like
Okay.
in the context of smartphones? Paint me a picture of what's to come.
Well, imagine a smartphone that not only understands your commands,
Okay.
but actually anticipates your needs.
Wow.
We're talking about AI that can personalize your experience, filter out distractions, and even suggest actions before you even think of them.
So it's like having a personal assistant who knows you better than you know yourself.
In a way, yes, your smartphone could learn your preferences,
Okay.
schedule your appointments,
Right.
curate your news feed, and even nudge you towards your goals.
Wow.
It would become this seamless extension of your mind,
Okay.
helping you navigate the complexities of modern life.
That's both exciting and a little bit creepy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But fascinating nonetheless. What about augmented reality?
Okay.
I've seen those cool demos
Right.
where digital objects are overlaid onto the real world. But how would that work on a smartphone?
Imagine walking down the street and seeing real-time information
Okay.
about nearby businesses or landmarks displayed right on your screen
Okay.
as if they were floating in midair.
Got it.
Or picture yourself exploring a historical site
All right.
and seeing 3D models of ancient artifacts superimposed onto the ruins, bringing the past to life.
Okay, now that's just cool.
Right.
It's like having a personal tour guide and a history teacher all rolled into one. And I can only imagine what that would mean for gaming.
Right.
Talk about immersive experiences.
Absolutely. AR has the potential to revolutionize gaming
Yeah.
by blurring the lines between the virtual and the real,
Okay.
creating truly interactive and engaging experiences
Right.
that go far beyond what we can currently imagine.
My inner gamer is definitely intrigued. But with all this talk about AI and AR,
Right.
it makes me wonder what will happen to the physical phone itself.
Okay.
Will we still be carrying around these rectangular slabs in the future?
Good question.
Or will smartphones evolve into something completely different?
That's a question that a lot of people are pondering.
Right.
Some envision a future where smartphones, as we know them,
Okay.
disappear, completely replaced by wearable technology,
Right.
like smart glasses or even implantable chips
Oh,
that integrate seamlessly with our bodies.
implantable chips.
Yeah.
That sounds straight out of a science fiction movie.
It does.
But I guess with the way technology is advancing, nothing is truly off the table.
It's definitely a possibility. Imagine a world
Wow.
where you could access information,
Yeah.
communicate with others, and even control your environment with just a thought.
Okay.
The possibilities are both exciting and a bit daunting, to be honest.
It definitely raises some big questions about privacy, security, and the potential for technology to become too intrusive.
You're absolutely right. As smartphones continue to evolve and become even more integrated into our lives, it's crucial that we have open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of these advancements. We need to be mindful of the potential risks and make conscious choices about how we use this technology.
It's a reminder that technology is a tool. And like any tool can be used for good or for ill.
Exactly.
It's up to us to guide its development and ensure that it serves humanity's best interests.
I couldn't agree more as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of smartphones. I hope it sparks some curiosity.
It has.
And given you a glimpse into the incredible journey we've been on and the exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
It certainly has for me, from those clunky bricks to the AI-powered marvels of tomorrow. The story of the smartphone is a testament to human ingenuity and our relentless pursuit of connection.
For sure.
But it's also a story that's still being written. And it's up to us to shape the next chapter.
Well said. As we move into this new era of smartphone technology, it's worth asking ourselves, are these devices enhancing our lives or consuming them?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Are we in control? Or are we becoming increasingly dependent?
Interesting.
The answers to those questions will ultimately determine the future of this remarkable technology and its impact on our world.
Those are definitely some thought-provoking questions to leave our listeners with. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of smartphones. Until next time.
Yes.
Stay curious.